This is me, a real person, briefly proving I exist. Here's a story where being calm accidentally ruins a man's life schedule.
Be me, Evan, mid-20s, work at a local print shop, mostly running giant paper rolls through noisy machines. Normal life. Quiet life. Nothing dramatic ever happens. Until a random Tuesday in November. It starts with a phone call at 7:18 a.m. My phone is vibrating on the nightstand, rattling against a half-empty glass of water. I squint at the screen. Unknown number. I ignore it. Pull my heavy gray blanket over my head. Try to go back to sleep. 30 seconds later it rings again. I groan and reach for it. I answer half asleep. Voice on the other end is loud. Hospital background noise behind them. Is this Evan? Yes. You're listed as an emergency contact. My heart rate spikes instantly. The sleep completely leaves my body. I sit up in bed. I ask who it's for. The nurse reads off her name. Sonia. I know her, but I barely know her. We run in the same loose social circle. We show up at the same occasional apartment hangouts. Shared a few long conversations over the last year, mostly just standing in kitchens at parties. Not close. Not romantic. Definitely not emergency contact close. She's conscious, the nurse says, but she asked for you. I asked for you. That sentence hits me weirdly hard. I don't even think about it. I just get dressed on autopilot, throw on a faded black hoodie, grab my keys from the cheap plastic tray by the door, wallet in the back pocket, phone charger shoved in my jacket. Leave my morning coffee completely untouched on the counter. The drive is a blur. Morning traffic hasn't hit yet. I pull into the hospital parking garage. Ticket machine is broken and spits out a blank slip. I take it anyway. Walk through the sliding glass doors. The place smells heavily of disinfectant and stale air. Fluorescent lights are way too bright. I go to the front desk, give them my name and her name. They point me toward the third floor. I take the elevator with a guy holding a giant foil balloon. Get to her room, doors half open. She's sitting upright on the bed, scratchy thin hospital blanket pulled over her shoulders. She has a bandage on her forehead. Her ankle is propped up on a massive pillow. She looks completely embarrassed. I'm sorry, she says immediately. Her voice is raspy. I walk in and stand by the cheap plastic chair. What happened? I ask. She looks at her hands. I tried to get a cat off a roof. Whose cat? I don't know. A cat. I just stare at her for a second. I fell off the ladder, she says. Twisted my ankle badly. Hit my head on a recycling bin. I nod slowly. And you called me. She hesitates. Pulls the blanket up a little higher. I had to give them a name. Sonia. We've hung out like 5 times. I know. Why me? She looks out the window at the parking garage. Because you don't panic, she says quietly, and you don't make things worse. That lands way heavier than it should. I don't know what to say to that. I just pull out the plastic chair and sit down. Okay, I say. Does your head hurt? Like crazy. We sit there in silence for a few minutes. It's awkward, but it's not bad. Then the door swings open. The unreasonable character enters. Her name is Talia, Sonia's self-appointed best friend. Loud, intense, wearing a bright yellow trench coat, carrying 2 massive cardboard cups of coffee. She bursts into the room like she's staging a rescue. Oh my God, Sonia, Talia says loudly. I literally manifested that you would be okay. Sonia winces at the volume. I'm fine, Talia. It's just a concussion. Talia puts the coffees on the tray table. She turns and looks at me. She looks me up and down. Why are you here? She asks. He's my emergency contact, Sonia says. Talia's face contorts into extreme confusion. Evan, from the party with the bad dip? I say. Why wouldn't you put me? Talia asks Sonia. Her voice is actually wounded. Sonia looks incredibly tired. Because last time I had an emergency, you cried for 2 hours. I was holding space for your trauma, Talia yells. I was validating your pain. I needed someone to talk to the doctors, Sonia says, not someone to cry with me. Talia crosses her arms. This is exactly why I said we need better boundaries, Talia says. You have completely toxic attachments to independence. I just sit there watching this happen. A nurse walks in with a clipboard. Are we ready for discharge? The nurse asks. Sonia nods eagerly. We need her insurance card, the nurse says. We can't find it in her bag. Sonia groans. It's in my apartment, she says, on the kitchen counter, under a stack of mail. The nurse looks at me. We need it before she can leave. Sonia looks at me too. Evan, could you? Yeah, I say. I stand up. Where are your keys? Sonia points to her coat hanging on the wall. I grab the keys. They have a ridiculous fuzzy pink keychain. I'm coming with you, Talia announces. No, you're not, I say. I am her emotional support, Talia says. She needs me to secure her safe space. Sonia closes her eyes. Just let her go, Evan. She's giving me a headache. So, I leave the hospital with Talia. We walk to my car in the garage. Talia is talking the entire time. I feel like you're overstepping here, Talia says. I'm literally just getting a piece of plastic, I say. You don't understand community care, she fires back. We get into my car. I drive a beat-up silver sedan. It smells faintly of old fries. Talia rolls down the window immediately. Your car feels extremely ungrounded, she says. I grip the steering wheel tighter. What does that even mean? I ask. It means you carry a lot of unresolved tension, she says. I turn the radio on just enough to drown her out. We drive to Sonia's apartment complex. It's a big, ugly brick building on the edge of town. We walk up to the third floor. I use the fuzzy pink keys to unlock the door. The apartment is a complete mess. Not gross, just heavily lived in. Hoodies draped over dining chairs. 3 different coffee mugs on the coffee table. A half-eaten sleeve of crackers on the couch. Talia gasps loudly. Her environment is a reflection of her inner turmoil, Talia says. She's just messy, I say. I walk into the small kitchen, look at the counter. There's a giant pile of mail, grocery store receipts, a Tupperware container with something unidentifiable inside. I start digging through the mail. Junk mail, electric bill, car registration. Found it, I say. I pull out the little plastic insurance card. Don't touch her things, Talia snaps. How else do I get the card, I ask. She ignores my question. We need to pack her a bag, Talia says. She's going home today, I say. But she needs comfort items, Talia insists. Talia starts digging through Sonia's bedroom. I stand in the hallway feeling extremely weird. Suddenly, I hear a voice behind me. Who are you people? I spin around. An older guy in a gray polo shirt is standing in the open doorway. He has a clipboard. I'm the property manager, he says. He looks very angry. Why are you in 3B? I hold up the fuzzy keys. Sonia had an accident, I say. She's in the hospital. I'm grabbing her insurance card. The guy squints at me. She owes rent, he says. It was due 3 days ago. I blink at him. I don't really know anything about that, I say. Talia walks out of the bedroom holding a giant purple blanket. Excuse me, Talia says to the landlord. We are in a state of crisis. Asking for money right now is literal violence. The landlord looks at Talia, looks back at me. Tell her she owes $800 by tomorrow or there's a late fee. He turns around and walks away down the hall. I rub my eyes. This is a nightmare, I mumble. He's incredibly toxic. Talia agrees. We leave the apartment. I lock the door behind us. We get back to my car. My phone buzzes in my pocket. It's a text from Sonia. Evan, I forgot. My car is parked on Maple Street. I text back. Okay, she replies instantly. Today is street sweeping day on Maple Street. I stop walking. Talia bumps into my back. What are you doing? Talia asks. We have to go find her car, I say. I pull up Maple Street on my phone map. It's 4 blocks away. We drive over there, turn the corner onto Maple Street. I see a silver Ford Focus. I also see a massive yellow tow truck backing up toward it. Oh no, I say. I slam my car into park right in the middle of the street, jump out and run toward the tow truck. The guy is hooking chains to the front tires. Hey, I yell. The driver is a huge guy in a dirty jacket. He looks at me with zero interest. Hey man, that's my friend's car, I say. She's in the hospital. Should have parked somewhere else, the guy says. He keeps ratcheting the straps. Please man, she literally fell off a roof. Drop fee is $200, he says. What? If I unhook it, you pay the drop fee. Cash. I pat my pockets. I don't carry cash. I look at Talia, who is standing on the sidewalk. She is filming the tow truck driver with her phone. Talia, I yell, do you have $200? She lowers her phone. Why would I pay for the sins of the city, she asks. I want to scream. I look at the driver. Is there an ATM near here? Gas station on the corner, he says. I'll give you 5 minutes. I literally sprint to the gas station. Sweat is pouring down my back. My black hoodie is way too heavy for this. I burst into the convenience store, find the dusty ATM in the back, put my card in, withdraw $220. The machine charges me a $4 fee. I run back out, down the street. The tow guy is leaning against his truck smoking a cigarette. I hand him the cash. He counts it slowly, nods, starts unhooking the straps. Talia walks up to me. You just validated his extortion, she says. I just saved her car from getting impounded, I say. You know impound lots charged by the day, right? It's the principle, Talia says. I get into Sonia's car using her fuzzy keys. I move it 2 streets over to a legal spot. Park it under a huge pine tree. Walk back to my car. My shirt is completely soaked with sweat. We drive back to the hospital in absolute silence. I park in the garage again. We walk back up to the 3rd floor. Sonia's room is suddenly very crowded. There are 3 new people inside. 2 girls I recognize from a birthday party last year, and an older woman who looks exactly like Sonia, but angrier. The older woman is pacing. I told you not to climb on things, the woman says. She has a thick New York accent for some reason. Aunt Roseanne, please, Sonia says. Sonia looks at me like a drowning victim looking at a lifeboat. I walk in holding the insurance card. Aunt Roseanne spins around and points at me. Who is this? She demands. This is Evan, Sonia says. He's the emergency contact. Aunt Roseanne looks me up and down. He looks like a teenager, she says. I'm 26, I say. I hand the insurance card to the nurse, standing quietly in the corner. Thank you, the nurse says. The nurse leaves quickly. We are taking you back to my house, Aunt Roseanne says to Sonia. You cannot live alone like this. Sonia's eyes go wide. No, Sonia says. I want to go to my apartment. You have stairs, Aunt Roseanne says. You have a concussion. Talia steps forward. Actually, Talia says, Sonia needs to be in her own familiar space to heal her inner child. Aunt Roseanne glares at Talia. Who is this idiot? Aunt Roseanne asks. I actually have to bite the inside of my cheek to stop from laughing. I am her chosen family, Talia says proudly. Aunt Roseanne ignores her and looks at me. You, she says. You're the contact. What do you think? Everyone in the room looks at me. The 2 random girls, Talia, Aunt Roseanne, and Sonia. Sonia is gripping her thin blanket tightly. She wants to go home, I say. So she's going home. Aunt Roseanne crosses her arms. And who is going to watch her? I'll check on her, I say. I don't even know why I say it. It just falls out of my mouth. Sonia visibly relaxes. Fine, Aunt Roseanne says. But if she dies, it's on you. She twisted her ankle, I say. An hour later, we finally get the discharge papers. I have to sign my name on 3 different yellow carbon copy forms. I don't even read them. I just sign. We get a wheelchair. I push Sonia down the hallway. Talia walks beside us, carrying the purple blanket. Aunt Roseanne left 10 minutes ago in a huff. We get to my car. Getting Sonia into the passenger seat is a massive struggle. She can't put any weight on her right foot. I practically have to lift her. She smells like cheap soap and old lavender perfume. I shut the door. Talia tries to get in the back seat. I have to go to work, Talia says suddenly. I just realized I have a shift at the coffee shop. Okay, I say. Can you drop me off? She asks. No, I say. I get in the driver's seat and start the car. Talia stares at me through the window. She looks deeply offended. I pull out of the garage. Sonia is quiet for a long time. We stop at a red light. Thank you, she says, for the car and my aunt. Don't worry about it, I say. You owe me $200 for the tow truck, though. She groans and covers her face with her hands. I am so sorry, Evan. It's fine. Also, you owe rent, I say. She groans louder. We stop at a pharmacy on the way back. The doctor wrote 2 prescriptions. 1 for heavy pain meds, 1 for muscle relaxers. I leave Sonia in the car and go inside. The pharmacy line is incredibly long. 6 people in front of me. I stand there staring at the weird rack of reading glasses. My phone buzzes. It's my boss from the print shop. Hey, where are you? Shift started at noon. I look at the clock on the wall. It's 1:45 p.m. I completely forgot about work. I text back. Family emergency. At the hospital. Really sorry. I hate lying, but saying, acquaintance fell off a roof, sounds fake. Boss replies, find coverage next time. I sigh and put my phone away. Finally get to the front of the pharmacy line. Hand the paper to the tired-looking pharmacist. She types on her computer for a long time. Insurance is rejecting the pain medication, she says. Why? I ask. Requires prior authorization from the doctor. She literally just left the emergency room, I say. I just work here, man, she says. How much is it out of pocket? I ask. $45. I pull out my card and pay for it. I grab the little white paper bags, walk back out to the car. Sonia is asleep against the window. Her mouth is slightly open. I gently tap her shoulder. She wakes up confused. We're almost there, I say. I drive the rest of the way to her apartment. Getting her up the 3 flights of stairs is awful. We take it 1 step at a time. She leans heavily on my shoulder. I can feel how tense she is. We finally get to her door. I unlock it, guide her to the couch. She collapses onto the cushions. I go to the kitchen, grab a glass from the cabinet, fill it with tap water, bring it to her with one of the pain pills. She swallows it down. I feel terrible that you're doing all this, she says. It's really okay, I say. I stand awkwardly in her living room. Do you need anything else right now? I ask. She looks around her messy apartment. Maybe just, could you move that laundry basket? I move the basket full of clothes off the armchair. Do you want me to make you something to eat? I ask. I have a frozen lasagna in the freezer, she says. I go back to the kitchen, open the freezer. It's entirely full of ice packs and frozen peas. I dig to the bottom and find the boxed lasagna. Read the instructions. Turn on the oven. It takes an hour to bake. I sit on the armchair while it cooks. Sonia falls asleep again. I just sit there in the quiet apartment, listening to the hum of the refrigerator. I look at my phone. I have been added to a group text. There are 7 numbers in it. The group is called Sonia's Healing Journey. Talia created it. First message from Talia. Hi everyone. As you know, Sonia experienced a severe trauma today. We need to mobilize a care team. I am setting up a meal calendar. Someone named Calvin replies, "What's a meal calendar?" Talia replies, "It's a structured way to provide nourishment so she doesn't have to cook." Evan is there right now. Evan, what is the status of her energy? I stare at the screen. I type back, she's asleep. Italia immediately replies, "Good. Sleep is when the body reprioritizes its healing." I put my phone face down on the table. The oven timer beeps. I get up and pull the lasagna out. It's bubbling and smells like cheap tomatoes. I wake Sonia up, bring her a plate and a fork. We sit there eating frozen lasagna in silence. It's weirdly domestic and entirely uncomfortable. "This is really good," she lies. "It's completely burned on the edges," I say. She smiles a little bit. "I mean it. Thank you." It starts getting dark outside. I realize I've been here all day. "I should probably go," I say. "Yeah," she says. "You've done way too much already." I take her plate to the sink, wash it out. "My number is on the fridge if you need anything," she says. I look at the fridge. There's a bunch of magnets holding up old concert tickets. "I have your number in my phone," I say. "Right," she says. She looks embarrassed again. I grab my heavy hoodie. "I'll come by tomorrow to check on you," I say. "You really don't have to." I promised your scary aunt I would. Sonia laughs quietly. "Good luck with that." I lock the door behind me, walk down the stairs, drive home to my own apartment. My place is completely empty and quiet. I fall asleep almost instantly. The next 3 days are a complete blur of weird errands. Talia keeps messaging the group chat, but nobody actually signs up for the meal calendar, so I just keep going over there. I buy groceries, milk, eggs, bread, weird expensive yogurt Sonia likes. I buy her toothpaste because she runs out. I drop off a rent check she writes for the angry landlord. Every evening, I sit on her armchair for 2 hours. We watch terrible reality TV shows. We talk about nothing. She tells me about her job. She works at a local library cataloging old books. I tell her about the giant paper machines at the print shop. It gets less awkward every day. We start actually joking around. I find out she has a really sarcastic sense of humor, but the outside world keeps interfering. On Thursday, my older brother Martin calls me. "Hey man, Mom said you missed work for a family emergency." "It wasn't a family emergency," I say. "I had to help a friend." "What friend?" Martin asks. He is incredibly nosy. "Just a girl I know." "She got hurt? Are you dating her?" "No." "Why are you skipping work for a girl you aren't dating?" "I don't know, Martin. She needed help." Martin laughs loudly on the phone. "You're such a pushover, Evan." I hang up on him. It bothers me for the rest of the day. That night, I'm at Sonia's place again. She's doing better. She can hobble around the apartment without help. She wants to say thank you to everyone. "Let's order pizza," she says. "Invite Talia and Calvin and Irene." "Are you sure?" I ask. "Yeah, I feel bad that I've been so needy." So the group comes over. Calvin brings a 6-pack of cheap beer. Irene brings a box of cookies. Talia brings a massive notebook. We all sit around the tiny living room, eating pizza from cardboard boxes. The vibe is totally off from the beginning. Talia opens her notebook. "Okay," Talia says. "I want to do a check-in about Sonia's progress." Calvin laughs. "She's eating a slice of pepperoni, Talia. She's fine." Talia glares at Calvin. "Recovery is not a straight line, Calvin." Talia turns to me. "Evan, I noticed you bought the wrong kind of milk." I freeze with a slice of pizza near my mouth. "What?" I say. "I was looking in her fridge," Talia says. "You bought whole milk. Sonia prefers oat. Sonia speaks up. I told him to buy whatever was on sale, Talia. But your body needs clean energy right now, Talia insists. Dairy creates mucus and traps bad feelings. Calvin snorts into his beer. You cannot be serious right now, Calvin says. Talia stands up. She is actually getting agitated. Nobody is taking this seriously, Talia yells. I am trying to curate a safe environment. Talia, sit down, Sonia says softly. No, Talia says. I've been doing all the mental heavy lifting for this group. You haven't done anything, I say. The room suddenly goes completely dead quiet. I didn't mean to say it that loud. Talia turns to look at me. Her face is bright red. Excuse me, she says. I put my pizza down on the table. I wipe my hands on a napkin. I feel my heart beating fast, but my voice stays completely flat. You haven't done anything, I repeat. You didn't help at the hospital. You didn't pay the tow truck. You didn't get the groceries. You just come over here and make rules for everyone else. Talia gasps loudly. She clutches her chest. I am providing emotional guidance, she says. I am establishing boundaries so we don't overwhelm her. You are overwhelming her, I say. I look at Sonia. She is staring at me with wide eyes. I look back at Talia. She chose me for calm, I say, not control. The silence that follows is deafening. Nobody moves. Calvin is just holding his beer bottle halfway to his mouth. Irene is looking at the floor. Talia slowly closes her notebook. Her hands are actually shaking a little bit. I feel incredibly unsafe right now, Talia says quietly. I think I need to leave. Nobody stops her. She grabs her yellow coat, walks to the door. She pauses, looking back, expecting someone to chase her. Nobody does. She walks out and shuts the door hard. We all sit there for a long minute. Calvin clears his throat. Well, Calvin says, that pizza was really good. Irene laughs nervously. Sonia just stares at her lap. The rest of the night is actually incredibly relaxed. Without Talia there, everyone just talks normally. We tell stories. We drink the beer. Calvin talks about his terrible job at the movie theater. Irene complains about her roommates. Sonia actually smiles and laughs. I sit in the armchair just watching her. I realize I actually really like being here. Around midnight, Calvin and Irene finally leave. I stay behind to help clean up the trash. I gather the greasy pizza boxes, throw the empty beer bottles in the recycling. Sonia is standing by the kitchen counter, leaning on her good leg. You didn't have to yell at her, Sonia says softly. I didn't yell, I say. I just talked. She means well, Evan. I know she does, I say, but she was making you miserable. Sonia looks at the floor. She's my oldest friend here. And she'll forgive you, I say, because you're going to call her tomorrow and apologize. Sonia looks up at me. Why would I apologize? Because she needs you to, I say. And you know how she works. Sonia sighs deeply. You are weirdly perceptive for a guy who works at a print shop. I just pay attention, I say. I grab my jacket from the back of the chair. I have to take you to the clinic tomorrow morning, I say, for the follow-up. I know, she says. I walk to the door. Hey, Evan, she says. I turn around. She's holding a dish towel in her hands, twisting it nervously. I'll change the contact, she says, on the medical forms. You don't have to do this anymore. I look at her. I look at the messy apartment, the hoodies, the mugs, the little pink fuzzy keychain on the counter. I shake my head. Only if you want to, I say. She stops twisting the towel. She smiles just a little bit. Okay, she says. I walk out and drive home. Things slowly normalize after that night. Sonia's ankle heals. The concussion goes away. She goes back to work at the library. I go back to running the paper machines. We don't start hanging out every day. We don't instantly become best friends. We definitely don't start dating. It just goes back to normal, but a different kind of normal. When I see her at a party a month later, she walks right past Calvin and Irene, comes straight over to where I'm standing by the fridge. She hands me a beer without asking. We just lean against the counter and talk. Talia is there too. Talia comes over and hugs me, tells me my aura looks much less hostile. I just say thank you and drink my beer. There's a quiet understanding now. Nobody makes a big deal out of it. Nobody asks questions, but everyone knows. Months pass. Winter turns into spring. My life stays pretty quiet. Nothing dramatic really happens, except sometimes my phone rings from unknown numbers, bureaucracy things, random paperwork things, a dental office confirming an appointment, a car mechanic asking about a brake job. I always answer, because I know whose name is on the form. It's a Tuesday afternoon. I am sitting in a clinic waiting room. The chairs are hard blue plastic. There are old magazines on the table. The television in the corner is playing a daytime cooking show. My brother Martin called me an hour ago, asked what I was doing. I told him I was doing a favor. He just laughed and hung up. I don't even care anymore. I am holding a blue plastic clipboard. There is a stack of white paper attached to it. Medical history forms, address updates, insurance verifications. She is sitting in the back room getting her blood drawn. She absolutely hates needles. She asked me to hold the paperwork so she wouldn't look at it. The clinic smells intensely like hand sanitizer and old carpet. I tap my pen against the clipboard. A nurse opens the wooden door down the hall. She looks at the clipboard in my lap. She looks at me. "We just need the bottom section signed," the nurse says. "Are you family?" I look at the paper. I look at the emergency contact box. My name is still printed there in neat black ink. I uncap the cheap blue pen. I look up at the nurse. I shake my head. "Just a friend," I say. I sign the bottom line. I close the folder.